Well, no introductions necessary. This is my fellow associate and researcher, Vern. How's it going, Vern? Good to see you could make the review. And of course, Sparky, my master taster. Sparky, you got into it a little bit early again. We talked about this, you know, we got a long review ahead, and I don't like it when you start falling asleep in the middle.
Skip the history, just jump ahead for the review.
Well, we're going to locate the Aberfeldy distillery, of course, the one that John Dewars built back in 1896. I believe it opened in 1898. And let's blow it up here. And in the community of Aberfeldy, and close to the River Tay, here it is, Aberfeldy Distillery. Well, folks, welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey. And tonight we are going to go after John Dewar's company, Aberfeldy. And in fact, they actually built the distillery back in the 1896. I think it was under construction. 1898 it was launched. And I got this. I picked up this gift pack. This is probably maybe a year and a half ago. In the $100 range. It was a mix of a 12, a 16, and a 21. I've sipped on the 12 and the 16. I don't think I've touched the 21, but I want to do the 16. I wanted to start there and eventually work my way to the left and the right, do the 12 and do the 21. But I thought I'd start with the 16. It's a cute little box there that you get, and I think they're 200 mil, 3 200 mil. Containers. I think it was a fairly decent deal. I'm finding John Dewars has a lot of really good offerings. I have their doubles. They're 21, they're 27, they're 32. I've got a 25-year-old of theirs. I like their ABV. A lot of them are at 46. Just impressed with what they're doing. Anyways, Aberfeldy. I have on the video a little history presentation, so I won't get into that too much. Stephanie MacLeod is the master distiller, master blender. She was, I think, she was voted the master distiller, master blender of the year. Was that 2019 or 2020? She was the first female to gain that position. But a part of it too was that her whiskeys did so well at the international awards. So, but anyways, here we are, the 16. So let's pour a dram, and let's see what the Aberfeldy 16 is. It is a Highland malt, and it is located in the town of Aberfeldy, and of course that's where John Dewars was born, and of course that's where after his death, and that is where Tommy and John Jr. Dewars ended up building the distillery at his dad's wish. That was his dad's dream. and he passed away before it was given a chance to get started. So they fulfilled that dream, and they successfully, got that brand off the ground to where it was internationally recognized. So, anyways, let's give this the nose. And they're sure cute little bottles, though, eh? Oh, lots of sweetness here, lots of fruit. Fruit and honey. And I'll say, when I say fruit, apricots, a little bit of orange peel. Hey, marmalade on toast. That mix, that marmalade, what is that mix? I've had it before there, but it's a mix of marmalade and I think it has grapefruit mixed in and even a wee bit of lemon, and it is a marmalade. On toast with butter. This is fairly rich, and it has a really nice nose. If for those that are just getting into Scotch, I think Aberfeldy is an excellent choice. Getting away from the popular, the Glenfiddichs and the Glenlivets, and of course the McCallum's a little more pricey, but this is going to be a little easier on the pocketbook. Oh yeah. So even honey mixed in with the fruit, and get a little bit of, just a wee bit of the wood, cereal notes and wood, and baking spices. But orange is quite strong with this drink here, and a bit of orange chocolate in the background. Pull it away here. Now this is a 40 ABV, so it's not a heavy hitter, and it's typical of some of the whiskeys that I will review. So I know some reviewers won't touch anything less than a 46 or a 43. I have no problem reviewing a 40. 40 to me is what I started off with, and I'm not pretentious about these whiskeys. If I enjoy it, I enjoy it, and I drink cask strength. I can drink a 40. So this is a review of what I think of that whiskey. So let's give it another palate. So again, marmalade. And a little bit of some orange and ginger, orange and chocolate. Yeah. Anyways, very nice nose. The palate, Sláinte. Right off the bat, I got some sour notes. I was kind of expecting a hit of honey, like a heavy hit of honey, but I actually got a little bit of sour. But again, orange peel, definitely, some very tart orange. Not like maybe a sweet pink grapefruit. The chocolate is there, or the orange chocolate is there too. And just starting to get a little bit of that vanilla from the wood, because there is a bourbon cask influence here. Now, I didn't do a lot of research on this here, and I'm trying to remember if this is sherry cask influence, this one here, because it sure it sure has enough fruit in it. So just looking in here, I'm going to find out, I'll put it on the video there, what cask influence, because that's the one thing I did not do. I got busy and I didn't do all the research I normally do. I apologize. I'm going to top this up a little bit here. But definitely bourbon, the bourbon cask. So you do taste the wood, American wood there, the vanilla. This is a very easy drinker. It just goes down so easy that I think, you know, I have to watch that I don't overindulge in this. But when I was talking about the orange marmalade butter on toast, you know, when I was giving you the nose, it's right there in the palate as well. And the orange chocolate, again, very strong. So the maltiness is there. Malty, cereal, almost a granola cereal, but not a pure granola cereal, kind of like an oatsy. One of the more commercial cereals, you get the oatsy granola cereals there that sweet, and raisins, sultanas, but really fruit forward. Yeah, a little bit of maybe jasmine on the tongue there as you're kind of toward the tail end here. Yeah, what I'm going to find with something like this is it very palatable and it's an easy drinker, but it's not going to have a big finish, I know that, but here is to the finish. Well, bourbon finish cask, a little bit of the wood. And I talked about the malt. Yeah, it's definitely there. Little bit of that tea. Kind of a different kind of chai tea, though. I mean, there's so many different types of chai tea, but this is not as strong the licorice end of it there. I mean, there is aniseed or something in the background there, but no bitterness. This is a very smooth. There's nothing sharp about it. The wood is very easy. You know, certainly not overpowering the wood, but the weakness on this drink is the finish. You know, the drink will do very well. You know, it's done very well through the review here, but it does not have a strong finish. So, you know, as I'm talking and you know, I'm giving you the notes are disappearing as fast as I'm giving to you. So I you know, I'm going to top it up again. There is no more finish. There's a slight coating on the tongue, but I wouldn't be able to distinguish exactly what's there. So. You know, one of the reviewers mentioned this was a little hotter than the 12, and the ABV is the same. They're both 40s, so I do not find this hot at all. So it's funny how everybody It is going to, everybody's going to get a different palate on a whiskey, and this one here, because it is extremely, it's a very smooth but not a heavy impact drink. I mean, it's at times maybe I could say shallow in places. So, and that's not to be critical on Aberfeldy. I mean, the drink, it was meant to be an easy drinker. They're presenting this to the newbies and people that enjoy an easier approach to drinking Scotch, and that's the 40 ABV. I mean, I look at a lot of the reviewers, and I'm not going to mention any names, and they're always adding water anyway, so they're getting it back down 43s and 40s, and the water does open things up. There is a chemical release of sugars and other flavors that happen with water, but something like this is for those that they might not want to play around with water. I mean, not everybody wants to have a glass of water and their little dipping straw and touch up their drink every few minutes. I mean, some people want to just get a drink poured, and I've got friends like this. In fact, I read a review where a guy was upset, and he says, if I have to sit there and I've got to add water here, and I've got to let the drink sit for 5-10 minutes, it's a 10-year-old or 12-year-old, got to let it sit for 12 minutes, I'm not drinking it. It's interesting. I love reading reviews because you get all sorts of interesting stuff that people say. But I think it's important to be open-minded with Scotch. We forget where Scotch came from. I watch we don't get too snooty about the drink. We don't get too arrogant. This was not to be just a gentleman's drink or a drink of the wealthy, or something that is considered a luxury drink. I mean, Scotch started in the hills of Scotland, in the Highlands, in very rough country, and they were constantly getting chased by the boogeyman, and it was more about enjoying company and people and friends, and it was a social thing. That's how it started. And the more I get into the culture of this drink, and I think about the people behind it, and of course what it represents, I try to get away from something I could quite easily get caught up in as well, and that's the arrogance of thinking that because a presentation isn't quite up to your expectations because it's a 40 ABV or a 43 ABV and you think it should be a 46 or higher, and it's easy for me to get caught up in that because a lot of the reviewers and the reviews that I'm reading are basically, they've gone that direction, and they've gone there for different reasons, and some are trying to defend the industry, some are trying to defend the culture, but it's a little more complicated than that. And you've got a good drink here. Aberfeldy is a really nice drink. I will drink this. Pour me a dram. I'll enjoy it with you. I'll toast with you. But I'm not going to give this a super high mark. I don't have to. It is what it is. It's a 16-year-old whiskey that's very affordable, and I think it's around an 84, 83, 84 because of what it has. It doesn't mean it's a bad whiskey. It's just how I score things. And anything in the 80s is a presentable whiskey for me to drink, and for what I have no problem presenting to somebody else. When we get below 80, then that might be another story. Back to the score. This is a pretty decent drinker. It's an 83 to an 84. I definitely think that for the price, and I'm going to put the price on because I don't have the actual bottle price right at the moment because I haven't bought the full liters, so I will put that on my video, but I will say that it is definitely a nice dram for the price. So until the next time, I'm going to ask you to drink wisely and intelligently. Do not drink and drive. And Sláinte.